How do you find your way of the side in your hands? Please, I hope now that you've been a bit more in common with the time becoming better. What's the name of your newest reaper? Seems like quite off the tongue, but it's so there was a name. So every new one I learn, one is more forgotten. Ginger. Anyway, with more worthwhile merchants naming is getting considered with the proper tricks of the trade, and it's best that we do in battle. One of the familiar trouble is a particularly vexing fiend, and has sent word of us. He goes by the name of Argonus. He's stationed out near Cutter's Cry. Not as much of a fighter, but he has a keen mind for trade, and can find a needle in a stack of needles if need be. We best hurry before he ends up at the bottom of some monster's gullet. Hello, Argus. He's a guardian. He is as guardian as we come. I'm happy to process Hallam in Marina. Oh, who's this? Are you sure we're not getting outsiders involved? Thank you for your discretion. But he's a personal contract of mine, so consider him a mercenary in service with the family. Whatever you say in front of me, you can say in front of him. By your will, boss. A chimera has been making these sands live in hell for just one of his territory, which have been... The men I've hired to carry my goods are scared to death, but I can't blame them. None of us are fit for the monster. As well as might you want to have a rock to hide behind, the criminals are known for being the most discriminate of beasts. To harvest the soul of the fallen and call for them. Let us see how you do. You do so many avatars. Your avatar will help you strike fear into the hearts of the foes. Will surprise them behind, and if you find a swarm, use guillotine to... But make sure you just soak in these hands. hate you have to use all my brothers. Listen, do the avatar, please still remember. Goes. Oh, that was easier than the stage one. That was way easier than stage. Stage was actually really hard. But impressive work, Dad. I knew there was something about you that, truth be told, I didn't expect you to make sure such clean work of that chimera. I reckon even I might be hard-pressed to match that display. You know the time when you see it, boss. With that, the cerulean will flow once more. As a merchant of sorts, sell cerulean as price, and that makes the gale pinchers and amateur and sun bulk, but still turns a pretty profit. We will barely keep up with the demand, despite the occasional beast or two buffing to our fares. All that you boss, and our countrymen up north, of course, here's to getting back to business as usual. Easy to come by, you know well. I'm going to protect the monopoly with a gilded fist, but they've yet to force the imperial stragglers up north of the market. Running off to a flame. Let me assure you that this arrangement is entirely above board. Selling goods to imperials is forbidden by law, but there's a nary reward about buying from them. I know reasons like to call Guardians by all sorts of colorful names, bastard, tyrant, invader, and I, but we all got all those and worse. While many a foul deed has been committed by the glory of empire, we ain't megalomaniacs to a man, even amongst the pureblood, that those served to not always do so by choice. Could be argued with all the casualties of the great. Now, no small number of empire troops will return home in a heartbeat if they could. But the word being what it is, most settled for sending their families with few coins. Most Eurasians would suffer the wit of color to complicate their black and white view. But you're going to fight with us. You should learn the truth of our past. But before the Empire, our forebears lived in Locus Aminius, down in the southern Illibard. With temperate climes and fertile earth the land provided, many of us were but simple farmers, abundant crops with the self-same sights that reapers would eventually wield. What gift as it ever would be. We were not tilling the fields our ancestors were forced to defend, where they yielded more elms, and some 800 years ago, now the vine from Locus Eminence completely. They fled north to the foreign region that would become Garlemald. Even then, they fought tooth and nail for the scant resources of the frigid land. From the fires and hardship with the first Magitech devices forged, with the innovation upon innovation, their humble group of farmers grew into an assembled empire. But before the miraculous twist of fate, we were a dying breed, benefits to not only the magic, but our hopes itself. With no natural advantages, because our mere survival was in question. From harsh necessities were the Reaper born. We turned our tools to weapons and struck a bargain with the whispers in the dark. With the void power we could strike an army beast in head, slay their generals and through the ranks and on a file into disarray. Our ways is at end battle before they spark the catch. To sacrifice the ones from the many, to keep our left hands away from the family, friends, and lovers. And now this power belongs to you. Remember our story. Remember what drives a man to the void, and you're not to be led upon deeper temptations. Our work here is that I'll see you back at headquarters. Good. I think you earn the right to know because you might have guessed that yourself, but the lemurs were formed to support the Gallians who were living in exile, and too easy from home, let alone in a place where the most would sooner than offer a helping hand. Off to only place to make a living in the shadowy corner that lies outside the watchful gaze of the law. Now, I don't expect you to embrace us like the brothers and sisters straightforward, but know this. I do expect you to apply yourself to such a job. We're working with a family of certain whereabouts of the upright. I expect that side of yours to be an extension of your body. Oh, they're looking dangerous with a sight. Makes me weak at the knee. I wish it's time we're supposed to be falling about the maid, ready to hunt our target. My lemurs have been hard at work scrapping together what information they can see. Let's see what you got. Very good. I mean, because you've met no further Chimera-related incidents, you've been happy to hear. I overlaid chip alas over here. There is a Herman. Make it clear. As you know, Aquarius voiced and he goes by the name of Orcus. He's literally the best, but there are always two above that. Tell us what you've found. I will, boss. I asked around about the unsolved murders and disappearance, see if there's someone matching the description you provided. There are many missing people as there are grains of sand. No shortage of tragedies either. One, however, is among the rest. The worker in the black shroud disappeared without a trace. No body, no belongings, nothing. Not enough occurrence by itself, but the sightings of a stranger with a skin pale as snow near his last known whereabouts piqued our interest. Now that's a promising start, and those woods are crawling with bandits and brigands of all sorts. Dust sprites and keepers are said to come in ghostly hues. Are we sure this is man ate one of them? Oh shit. Not mainly bandits have eyes that cloud the match. It's a match too close to ignore. I can't get to say we have a leader. How much trouble could one voice then be? Herman, he's standing right there, for God's sake. No, she's right. I already told you to return a wire to those outside the family. She's just doing her diligence. But trust me when I say this, we need every advantage we can afford. I made the mistake of misjudging Orcus straight before, and for my hubris, my family, my flesh and blood, were slain, all of them. I was planning on holding back a bit longer, but 'twas before the lemurs. I swore to thee, I repaid the suffering of Doswell, and I never let that bastard take anything from me again. I mean to keep my vow, and I trust I can count on you for help. You don't need to ask twice, boss. Your wounds are our wounds, even the ones that become scars. We'll see your vengeance wrought. All these years I scraped to make the place for us. I look forward to the day we pay his dues. It ain't just for me, but we have had to hunt him down. Either he is a blight on your zeal itself, and the longer we let it fester, the more suffering it spreads. Corner him. We will have the chance. Are you ready, Kaiser? You know the woods as well as any of us. We need your experience if those back before supper. Much appreciated. Alright, let's get to it, Herman. I want you here in Ul'dah, and keep your ears to the ground for all news of Orcus' movements. Arrogance, you lead us to where the woodcut disappeared. This would be the Sentinel Shroud, so our best course would be to set from the bed. Isn't named Fear of Garland, and I hear the people of Garbana bestowed it onto a fiend in his bones of man. So much does it reek of evil carnage. God, good you meet it. Before we set off, allow me to share the circumstances of the poor woodcut disappearance. As I've heard, he disappeared nigh a week ago. Got lost some summers, but he is a seasoned woodsman, not some high-born traveler who forgot to buy a map. I questioned around him, and none could think of a reason he might have went off. He even planned on to meet a friend or not. No, but I expect that promise. We can rule out a volunteer department. I believe we can. Last person I seen him alive, he took his axe and ventured northwest. And that's where we should set our trap. To take these and match to transmit the candles that senses like voice and wounded. You almost come across either of these orcas like the other. God. I said orcas. The body of a man, he can put on an awfully convincing performance, and we don't give him a chance to work his willies miles, or his fangs will be your neck, and you know it. As much as I want to accompany you, I only be liable in a fight to whether you find orcs or not. Return here and I'll report back to him. Good. Richard work his skill, penniless moon as his eyes as hellfire. I want to run into a beast on a dark night, on a summer day, or for that matter. Alright. And go. Let's see one please. Now that we're in hand. The voice was carrying this. That ring. Where'd you find it? I see there cannot be the voice said that Kaiser slew was the same one that murdered our woodcutter. Murdered, are you saying? I was searching for the place and set a trap. I spotted a shallow grave hastily dug and poorly hidden. Upon a say by my description of the woodcutter, the woolly chop underside fell save for the mark of a ring removed from the finger. I also say the ring was his demise. Tiny baubles are in common fixation for a void scent. Probably didn't spare a thought for the owner, only a prize. I suppose we can take the comfort knowing that the knowledge will harm no one. Orcas or not, I say the expedition was a success after a fashion. I should apprise the wallers of what transpired. You two catch some well-earned rest. Thank you kindly, Argoness. Well then, I'll see you back at the headquarters. Oh, that was easy. And we thought we would move over when Ergon was had lead. Usually our kill would day, perhaps the expectation circumstances. Maybe we'll find didn't get the success I promised. But sitting here in our heads that let us be happy, one less voice of later past the mission. Apologies we couldn't make your first we're in a cup of it ending. 2 decades of misery, but how long ago with Orcus was in the not? Raging like an animal free from his cage, and leaving my family dead in the wake. My grief he caused since this is immeasurable. No matter where he is, the cursed will take him. His hunger follows, little bleeds for the state of it. Of course, we are getting only one hunting him, but he is as clever as he is vicious. Not even the finest trackers have been able to keep him. Boss, while you are away, you make rounds, and I might have found something that will bear fruit. Argoness is following up on it as we speak. I swear someday that man is going to kill over on my account. Still, there is no one else I trust to tell me the difference between truth and hysteria. That being said, his work takes them to the right. Use a chance to hone your skills, and if it goes as far as planned, next time we speak, you have a gold opportunity to test them. Hell's Gate. trait. Upon Hell's ingress and egress, leave behind Hellgate and grants threshold to self 10%. Grants changes. Reading. Apologies, Kaiser. We're still waiting for errors to come through. And there is much you do around here unless you have a knack of cleaning. I'm sure you have first-hand information we can elaborate upon. Boss. Calm down, lad. Breathe, we got into you. Honest, he's been murdered. What? Tell her, I'm afraid not. The breastplate found him half buried in the sands not bells ago, just lying there with some bloody animal carcass. They're bringing him to XIV Shadowbringers soon as we speak. Before I'm done with him, they're begging you to crawl back into their mother's womb. I want just as much as you, Herman, but I do. But it's time like this we need to look to the boss for guidance. Alright, as you can see, the emotions are running high. I sure say you're here until the Herman cools off. Can you let the boss know we're standing by, waiting for a command, like as she's gone through to pay her respects? Okay, find a move for Chachata. Where's the bloody keeper? I'm gonna put this. The death must be left to rest. If you don't shut your trips and listen, the brass about in the body. But are you deceased family? If not, I'm afraid we cannot. Family? Argus was like a son to me. Like a son, ordinary that would be he is entered into the moment. However, I must advise that you not gaze upon the body. If she insists, then so be it. Oh, this is for you. Before Junior here. For all the busters, if you can forgive my rudeness, promise me that Argonus will get sent off well and proper. Of course he shall be. However, if you wish to enter him within the gates, well, such sort of space. I don't care what it costs, just send your men to Limmer's headquarters to collect what you write. I appreciate you coming to find me, but there is something else I have to speak with first. I'm heading to Stormcrow. Come along, if you please, but come along in silence. You were nursing wife initially. Let's get this over. Argonus never forgot the debt he owed you. I owe you, but owed you. Even so, his loyalty ran even deeper than that. It's a strange thing to look back on the people where you were to send a young lover, proud patriots, and blissful ignorant return to Locust. Homecoming for the Gromless. After 17. The once mighty invaders had been lowered low and driven by what he came and was a penner. But Argonus was honored with a post there, an honor that pot quickly faded when he saw the truth of Locust among. We've Devon just defeated our enemies. We had clapped in them irons and condemned them into a life of servitude. Descendants of those who driven our ancestors north so many generations. May they pay for the crimes of the forebears. His superiors were certainly pleased with the Argonus, however, could not simply look away from the suffering, let alone take pleasure of confronted with the reality of a place we can call home. It began cooperating with the resistance, but the eyes of the Firmination are all seeing the plan. Long as he was out as a sympathizer, it was only by the grace of good fortune that we escaped with our lives. He often laid at awake, wondering if he would outlive his usefulness to resistance. Perhaps it was such a senior officer that orchestrated our fall. Regardless of the cause, the outcome was the same. He could never return to the Empire, which led to Rosa way to Radzadana, and the only route can open to us. Wasn't soon as stepping. Locks of limbs. That your luck what ran out, as I recall, stopped by yellow jackets and accused of being an Imperial spy. We still managed to make an escape. He ran, terrified that our pursuers would one day catch up to us. That is until we met you. I did not take it under our wing. When you did, I shuddered to imagine our fate. Of course I killed him. And no mistake, he died for my vengeance. I cannot tell you how sorry I am. Please apologize. I know that he was happy. So long as he was helping you, he was happy. The rest on the monsters that murdered him in Cobalt. I expect you to see an answer for this time for me and the rest of I will unswear everything I have to swear. We need to talk. Some were a few prior eyes. Come meet me at the bridge to the north. I'm gonna apologize, Kaiser, for not telling you everything about me and Orcus as an starter. I dragged you into a fight against a foe that's cunning, brutal, and utterly merciless. I thought with all of us together we were able to tip this in my favor. But I was wrong. Argon has paid the price for my hubris. God, when I said we tried the black shroud was like one of the Orcus. I was too caught in the grand scheme to realize it as anything. I should have thought that we tried to hide that body. You're coming. I have to go. But what if Orcus taught us that is a wall? Anyway. Orcus had the same in the past, and he knows that we know him too. By dispatching his minion, we drew attention to Argon and his warning. Orcus doesn't give his praise to his toys and cuts him and saves his scream. But I knew he was responsible. It's like a signature, the way he leaves the bodies when he's had his fill. I only pray Argon doesn't take that suffering with him to the next life. Not right away, that'd be giving up on the game. He wants us to keep looking forward, short, sleeping with all unopened. He wears us down without even lifting a finger. And when he strikes, we'll be dead on our feet. Play things for him to do what he pleases. I won't do it. We need to bring the fight to him, no matter round come to us. It won't be easy, but. If you're going on risking land living for the fight Argon. To fight for him, and I got no qualm in the mission. Where's the ward that? Oh, it's this dude. Oh, Right. The tail. It's the universe. I should call you. God, shut your mouth, you thrice-damned monster. Oh damn, monster, is that what your beloved elder children these days? It seems one death wasn't punishment enough. A second should suffice for a scant reminder of your being. Oh wow, this guy is like... We're ending this here and now. Follow my leader. I thought we were a safe reunion a while longer, but if you insist, I shall feast. Die. Not but dress left in the discarded vessel of yours too long has the hide behind left in the sun. But your family has been replenished with fresh blood, I see. My, what a bounteous soul this one has. Your sight may be dull, but your eyes as sharp as ever. Blinding as the sun, pure as the snow, delectable as the boar leather. Oh god. Oh my god, I had though to make a quick meal of you, but perhaps just this once. Such a single specimen must be given to flatten, to fulfill the succulent potential of Tao's spirit to consume you or achieve perfection. Well, your soul is ripe with fear, swollen with hatred. If fit to birth with despair, I shall return for you, Kaiser, and I shall gorge you. Until that time, opens. She was right in front of me. I should have ended it with in one swing. For a moment, just one moment, I saw it all again. My family slaughtered lying at his feet. He left slipping away, and that was enough. Doubtless you have few questions I shall answer, I promise. But now the time, trust me. Standing around the sand. Let's return to headquarters and let the water cool our heads. Then we will consider our next course of action. Everything the bastard Orcus got to me coming home. He knew. I mean, if the bastard Orcus is going to get what is coming to him, he thinks he knows. If I wasn't so damn slow, we would be really on the show overall. Yeah, he pretty much, yeah, it was a minute, but Orcus took over. Before Orcus, he looks green enough to be my own grandchild. Tricks of the void like he's not. The secret that the poison doesn't want to devour you, it just probably wants to take a possession of your flesh, but Orcus has particularly a talent for it. As you Dallas summoned, he got an accepted craving for ether. Killing is the only act of gulping down our essence. He's old, but I can't say exactly how old. He has acquired taste for the finer things. Seems like our soul counts among the finest. He's getting better than you. Truth be told, you do seem nearly you don't seem for that man as I would have thought. Guess it's better to be prize of something than nothing. Any road it's been clear for longer than we would have to be granted, not even across the street, not even in the middle of the day. Keep your eyes persistent and keep out those terrible red eyes. We're sitting with chocobos at the moment. Sitting chocobos in one. But think of something and send for you as soon as you can. Gluttony. Summons an avatar aspect to target all enemies nearby. Boss says your family and your friend. Let's put that bastard in the dirt. Iron it. Left I had was a really human effect. Poor Kiss hasn't sucked his teeth into you yet, Kaiser. Don't go think he's given up on this. He's out there, saving you from a distance, and can't rest his back on his pride. Just as he can't sneak into his morsel to tide him over the beast. The reports until using upon the man pale death to skulking about the sands to prove the point. This is a matter of his blurred dagger. We know who sent it on the way. We don't know yet, but what it means. I'm warning you commonly spoke by a less than savory element in the old owl. A warning that the next will be delivered in a sharp, straight up your belly. The more fools of them, there's more notion that we're faced with and lived, thinking of what we soft our small clothes over us empty threats. Let's hope it's more than that. Last thing as we need to follow up on our reports sooner or later. Anyone fancy a bit of fresh air? If we catch a whiff of Arcus foul stench, all the better. I want you to go around your Blackbush station, and we'll head to Stone Throw. And once we're done, we'll meet up there and we'll share what we've filled up. Oh, why are you wearing blue? That's weird. I recognize the stealth shot. The mark men are ready to take on the world for themselves. It must be yours as Reaper, the boss sent you. I'm all disappointed to tell you nothing. The soldier in me loved to see the Reaper in action. I once fought in the Imperial Army, though you wouldn't think of it by the look of me now. I served proudly as under Lord Valnus in my youth. The day he ordered us to command as father for his skirmish, I refused and was sentenced to death by Kenan. Instead, I didn't keep that way appointment. Maybe the evil, toothless threats of the ghost, but the less jaded are more excited. One last thing responsible has been jumping at the shadows. Claims to have seen all matters of terror, just as she startled in her own reflection. Still, if you want to lend an ear or inspiration, you can find her in her lost hope. How are you? The rest is in my head. She sent someone to rid of this terrible evil waiting wings. She cares for us if we were ready to fight for flesh, but which is more than I can say for my own. And once I've longed to return to a life of comfort. I left behind in Garland, and I have refused to wait for things for that. Using the reason I left home in the first place. And I meant for my beloved, I will likely to be feasting on lemon cakes of ignorance. The ignorance of love and freedom. The former, finally former in Garland, and the latter in Rose as our love blossomed. Now every day since has been easy, not even for days. But the elusive waves which our eye has kept us in, our freedom is worth any measure. Such a terrible fear gripped my heart when the beloved told me to pale and uninspired stance. Now that my family will come to help, I can see this. I'm sure you wish to know the price where to find a whole teacher. I cannot help but have so well as my beloved of might, speaking in the southeast and straight end and cipher. To seek out my beloved so we can put into his minutes. He should be part of South Essia. Seek inspiration from the latest masterpiece. Midst of dread, back in the scent, horror others dread. In darkest night, cry of the keeper. By your side he walks, the Reaper. I apologize, my efforts to display. I'm a poet, you see. You cannot be putting waste into words emotions accompany such a... Monster. That's interesting. Oh, I get to fight that. Oh, thank you. My savior's goodness. Would it be fine to aid you? Alas, the poor pen is little use in battle. Unless, of course, the battle involved a sword aside. The words just asked our beloved, was not even licking the wounds dealt by the infected, and composed after he had annulled a forbidden union. The masterwork of scathing metaphor and subtle reminiscence, alas, for all their attention, nobles are anything but subtle and rage. We were forced to flee, to abandon to our homes, for our... Do you have the garland? You can't tell. I'll see it. Surely you did not seek out simply in my life, and leave with a nod. Did you wish to continue? I've comforted him, wandering the carry life. In search of inspiration, I felt the gaze of a terrible presence upon my back when I turned to meet. He was standing there grinning like a butcher at the wolf. The wool rose too thick for the scorched sand, and his skin looked as if he had never been kissed by the blazing sun. Eyes were bottomless pools of blood. I feared my end would succumb, but then he vanished as quickly as he appeared. I've been reckless. Recent incidents made it clear that the cost of inspiration is higher than I willing to pay. I shall return to my beloved for both my salary and hers. Thank you for this. I suppose we have taken comfort in the fact that none of the family came high. Speaking of which, what did you think of the family you were entrusted? Speak freely. I've lived with this long by taking offense to people. More than a brute straightforward survive. None of them were fit to live under the Empire of Brutes, and that's good enough for me. Much as I'm an enlightened type, you were otherwise. People like this say that their lives lead that separate us from those over there. Hey. Born queen, workers, drones, bred to royal ingrained so deeply they wouldn't know how to live otherwise, for glory and of the hive. We've got it in us. Might be worn into farming, soldiering, or politicking. We different path when the fancy would strike. In our nature to accept our lot without question. Now we do have a belief to understand. Put our faith in it. Only then we will we deign to march in depth. Indeed, fate of the stripe daring. The same tune others might be compelled through fate and logic and law. Invisible, yet cause enough for killing and conquering. Emmet Selk. Wow, you say. The soul of our brothership for 8 centuries, no longer. We march for Locust Emmet. The few righteous were with his radiant solace. Solar's goal has whipped up high of a frenzy. Passion for the masses soon quelled, and what was once a wish for home became a holy mission to spread enlightenment. Enlightenment which would not suffice in such a belief as the beast. Countless scores rendered up their lives and altered empire only until an empire continent was united under a single matchstick fist. For those who still dreamed of unity, indeed unworthy of song, yet some awoke to see it from a tyranny it was. My grandfather Rulus. My talents of the Reapers are passed down through the bloodline. Rulus was the best of us, most acceptable and feared in order. Reaper Reaper, our role is in the hive. If you have, will you deliver our countrymen from the corrupt power of retirement? And when Garlemund found religion and conquest, his appetite grew. My grandfather pondered this conundrum for many sleepless nights and came to the decision he would relieve Solus of his life. 20 years he slipped to the deepest chambers impatient, as a shadow, until he hears the Emperor beating harder. When Rulus returned to me, Solus was alive, and my grandfather on the other hand had a skittishness that his black hair had turned to pale white. He said not to encounter with the Emperor, that the most powerful man in Garlemund was no man at all. Shamed in his defeat, my grandfather, greatest power, bit by bit, he gave more of himself over to voice and behind his avatar. Orcus struck when Ruinus was weak, taking his flesh from his soul one fell swoop. When he was finished, not most of the grandfather remained that body. That was only Orcus. The fiend flew into rupture fencing, and my family was his first victim. I remember my chill silver teeth sink into my flesh and gnawing until they reached. Am I standing before you? Only Orcus gouged into his souls at night, but it wasn't mine. Not exactly, it was my avatar that filled his belly. It seems that it was all he stomached. From my consider lucky twist of fate, but I had left ponder, which and fled soon I was able. His radiance never looked kindly on those trying to end his life of their family. I wandered about for years until it settled me. I started seeking out others like me until who had awoken from the empire dream. Gleamers, what we call spirits of the dead, Garlantown, a fitting moniker if there was ever one. Waking up from a long sleep, unlike climbing out of the grave, I can't at least attest to that. Son of a bleeding reminds me of not giving such a long-winded speech when a sadness blowing my face. In this such a rain, I'm heading back to Ale. See you there. Oh, cutscene. Welcome back, boss. How was the family? Speaking, but aside from the trusted of tousled hair and mangled verse, Orcus left one of his minions behind as a gift. Kaiser made quick work of it. Always, he was a keeper. You have an eye of. Aw, thanks. I wager he could slay Orans all in his own, not that we let him take all the glory. Of course we wouldn't. We'll all be there when Orcus tries to make that his prize. I don't think he'll be waiting long either. Orcus said he'll strike when Kaiser was ripe with fear and hatred and despair, seasoning his load for go. That's not gonna happen. I have an inkling how he might draw out those emotions and finish off of a half-eaten meal besides. Right, sure. How many nights did you mourn your lost avatar? The wellsprings of your power, I must say, it was quite a dish. I think now move a sore finger and I'll have her head will hit the floor. Ooh, that's Kaiser. At fire, I will see it burn. I want to see it rage. I want to see the hatred seep into the depths of her soul. Shall I make the final bet, or is this one? It's so hard to choose. I was right to not give in to my base instinct, to allow the thoughts of your taste to simmer in my mind and thus I formed a bond, a kinship even, born from the understanding of how her encompass ideals, that you may better appreciate the bitter loss. Perhaps I should wait for a little longer, let the flavor of your hatred mature and pain of your talent. You really don't want to do that. I can make the dorsal revel in her screams, exult in her misery. All the while, the prize pillar grows fast with loathing and sickling with terror. Patience rewards. After all, with your analyzing flavor has fully matured, I shall return, I shall reap my harvest. Ah, I get it, that's it. Open. Alright, that's the spirit. Right, we need a plan. First things first, we need to fight Orc hiding, and the rest of the family should be able to do without it. In the meantime, we need to prepare. I know you're good, but we can't leave the boss life a chance. Sharpen your skill set and then sharpen them once more. The boss will not be offered without your avatar. That means, of course, I'll do what I can afford you invented. You can. Killing art. When I get my hands on... Oh, Kaiser, listen. We found where the boss is being held. By morning it isn't pretty. An enveloping arrived headquarters this morning. But inside was a letter written in blood. There's no doubt who it was. Orcus is revealing it in his own cruelty. The letter is waiting for us in Dusk Vigil. God knows what he's doing to her now. I called in every about a member of the family for this one. We're heading out as soon as everyone's assembled. We're ready to repay our debt we owe Drusilla, and we're all living in the heart of the Seal for the leader of the sick, for the family ideal, and the demons lair. They soon shall thread and end the foul his reign of dread. The boss would beam with pride to see his group of cold-blooded killers. Alright, Kaiser, we're ready when you are. Say the word. You might not hold the gun as a heat, but we've got skills. Just heads and you moving it to go with backwards, and don't say without them are suffering. Know about what she wants. Maybe he's right. I know he's right, Gans. Doesn't mean it doesn't chafe. The boss wouldn't trust just any man with Reaper arts, and Kaiser has proven himself worthy time again. If you're going alone, take this with you. For the boss, no responsibility can carry without her side. I think it's way too big for me. I think it's huge. I'll go and make Ursa the day he crossed this over. Back her statement. Family does not behind her. Did I say I don't know 525? Come forward. How dare you? Oh, I remember this place. smell your fear, your hatred. Your tender marble soul, a masterpiece, ripped for slaughter. I savor every bite, strip your flesh and bones. I hunger for the dark, sweet growth. The suffered soul I've been waiting. Behold, thing. The next person to draw in more willing. Now do as I want your wrist and. Alright? You wanna fight? I'll bring you a fighter. Alright, I'm ready. Big back. Spam that shit. Oh my god, bro. There, you like use that move. What's wrong? Too much? Very good. Defiance becomes you. Absolutely. So it begins to bore me. Annoy you rather. This past time you bared your belly for my blade. Prey's sole purpose is to satisfy. A word, your chick. Nah, wasn't aiming at you. How? There should have been nothing left of you. Should have learned to chew your food more thoroughly. Oh, the both of you. I won't die so easily. $525, bro. Like, what level do you think I was? Like, 'cause you know what dodging is. So you barely speed me, so you take on both of us. Arrogant. It's unbecoming. Do you want to send them again? I apologize, thank you. I mean, you weren't winning when you were just me, like. No. This is. Alright, killings now. Bold and hatred, I can still smell its aroma. Just a taste. Let's get back to headquarters, Kaiser. Guys. I'm gonna get honest you because he was kind of easy. Sorry for causing a. He wasn't no like the master fight. I was fight was harder. Tracking down, you risk your living. I'll say thank you, all of you. We didn't risk anything. We just sat here until you and Kaiser walked to that door. Don't be hard on yourself. I know each and every of you would have joined him if he hadn't talked some sense into you. We owe you our lives, boss. We owe it to you to return the favor. You're more than I deserve. Who forces them to hold dear into personal vendetta? Who leads families to their death? Was no fool. He knew and accepted the risk. He placed his faith in you because he believed Orcus had to be stopped, and he was right. There will be no more victims to mourn. He helped you achieve that victory. It'd be enough for him. It'd be enough for me. You're right. This ain't the time for sulking. Armagus would be the first to tell me that. Now, this time, to honor his sacrifice, toast that we have lost and those still by our sides. And thank the brave soul that led us here. That means you, Kaiser. Much as I like to take credit for Armor's demise, it was a long, bloody road, and this marks the end of your first assignment as a Reaper. And what assignment it was. You might not be Garlean, but you tackled your task with a singular resolve that impressed the most hardened soldier. I'm proud to call you family. We may have found lemurs to ride home for wayward Garleans, but we're not so different. Garleans, yours is no great revelation, but the moment like these helped to build it all into perspective. My family has done that, gave us the strength to survive in the strange land. But the beautiful thing about a dream is, if you ask me, is that they can change, they can get better. So I say it. From this forward, the lemurs will be united not by origin, but by purpose. Brothers and sisters, bound to shed conviction. I don't think anyone will object to that, boss. The lemurs are ready to welcome people of all stripes. Remember you, Kaiser, though it was all but official already, eh? Ooh, a Canadian GF. Here's the birth of a new family, brother. Brother! Day has been, hope it a while yet, but occasionally yammering on something. Too much talking, liability, but in putting a standard mood, or worse, make me new to it. So let's leave it at that. You get your weary from the weight of the world on your shoulders. Now let's that door open. And if you're near the end of bend, a short weep on us. And shroud. Shroud. Oh my gosh, you can enshroud up his skills. I must homemade. Feel free to give. Doing so well. Consider Almag's left some shoes that we found ourselves less Gila handling because to Hermes is all you can bless the heart, and much as she claims to hate us she's shown sharp mind for her trade. Thank you for us on track. Wife is making do. We will make me glad to hear. She's running her own style, doing a fine job on our account. I hope anyone can feel we need and reapers passed down to the humbled people who Parliament driving invaders from the hospital, where in about our side the people speak to husbands in our avatars. Though we reclaim a small voice and power, you must believe those who've learned mages. Of course, not everyone is able to bind to the void. If they're willing, there are certain kinds of people, certain kinds of souls who resonate the voice, and one that thrives in darkness for them. That is referring to what it says had killer instinct. I rare order connection at 13. Much or as much as a murmur she has crest upon as you imagine. The Gallians who are unfortunate, they must drink the fill root and much more this. For centuries my forebears ties to the abbot we use strength is the invaders were the ones that cut down, and under the cover of the night we would stalk down the silent embrace of dying campfires. When the sun rose, only the dead would serve in our presence. Enemies feared us, and when they were no until the region of the Emperor's soul. Now, when people think of the Emperor, they think of Magitech, the infra way of hulking metal. I've been said thank you for watching. If you like me all the time, I've been said this is Kenan the Kaiser. Let's get an OP. I'm just that good. See you in the next video. Auf Wiedersehen.